Hi there, it's Miss Julie again. I'm not going to be cooking today. Today I'm going to teach you how to do one of my favorite things, making paper airplanes. I have a love of flying. I like to be on airplanes. I like to travel to different places. I start off in one city and I end up in a different city somewhere else in the world. So that's why I love making paper airplanes. I first learned before I was in school, and my mom taught me my very first one. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you the most basic paper airplane there is. So this is called the Jet, and it's got some simple folds. So I'll show you that. Great. My daughter Gretchen lovingly made some pretty papers for me to use, so I'm going to pick one of those and get started. So the first thing you do is you lay your paper flat and you fold it in half like this, which is called the hot dog style fold. If I folded it the other way, it would be hamburger style. So you fold it in half like this, okay? And then you open it up again. And I fold down from here to the center line that I just made, one corner at a time. So this corner will go down straight here. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, and then I go down here so that's straight like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but one thing I will say is the crisper the edges, the better the airplane. So we go like that. Then, after you have it like this, you fold those sides again. So this corner will go to the center line, nice and straight. This corner here will go to the center line here. Hi, Miss Hannah. Nice to see you. And Miss Sheila's on. I hope Michael's learning how to make some paper airplanes. So now my airplane looks like this. Okay. Now, the easy part, you fold it in half, making sure that it's super flat. Here. Okay. And then I have my paper airplane so it's situated so that the flat edge is by me, and I fold the top edge by itself down. Straight across, so it looks like that. Okay, I don't know if you can see it all that well. And then I turn my paper airplane over, and I do the same thing with the other wing, like that, so that it looks like this. And then when I open it up a little bit, there's my jet. Now, I have to say this is the easiest one to make, but definitely not my favorite one to fly. And the reason is this point, when it hits into an object, it starts to get bent and crooked, making the airplane not fly as well, okay? So basic trick about how to fly an airplane is most people throw it with their whole arm and it just goes straight down. What you want to do is kind of gently glide it from your elbow. So I hold my elbow like this and I push it like that. Okay, so that's my first airplane. That's the Jet. Also, can I just show you, if it doesn't always fly straight, if you notice that when you fly it, it kind of flips. The trick is you want to adjust the wingspan, and you can also make rudders, so it'll control how the air hits the wings. Okay, so this is what I do. I made little rudders by bending them down. Okay, you see? It's very hard to show you on this, okay? And then when I fly it, it flies much smoother and much straighter, okay? So that's my first airplane, the Jet. The second one I'm going to show you is called the Moth. It is very similar to the Jet because it's got the same beginning point, but it's a little bit smaller, and it actually, to me, looks like a moth. So let me get started on that. I'll pick another pretty piece of paper that Gretchen made for me. And I start it the same way. So I do my hot dog fold, okay? Just like that. Then I open it up again. Then I fold my edges down to the center so that the lines are straight down. So 1, 2 at the center. You see? And then this is where the next step comes in. Instead of folding my 2 edges in yet, I'm going to use the line that I just made and fold it down, making it a little shorter, okay? This one's a little better than the last one just because it makes the tip a little stronger. Okay, so now I have that part started, and I'm going to fold down, and this part's the tricky part. So my corner is going to touch the middle line, not the edge here. So I don't want this edge to go straight down. I'm going to touch the corner almost halfway down. So it looks like this. You see here? Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So this corner is going to meet in the exact same spot on the other side. Okay? So we have that. Then my tip here, I don't know if you can see here, my tip folds upward. Hi, Miss Emma. Nice to see you. Okay, so the tip goes up like this. Then I fold it in half, just like I did before. So it looks like that. And then I do the same fold down, but instead of making a straight across, I'm going to do it at an angle so that it's bigger in the back and smaller in the front. So it's a line kind of like this. I don't know if you can see, but it goes like that. Okay, so I fold that down and then I turn it over and I do the same fold on the other side. Okay, so there's my moth. And again, when you fly it, you don't want to use your whole arm because it'll go straight down. You want to just kind of push it through the air. Okay, so we have two down. I have 3 more to show you. So now this one that I'm going to show you is the one nearest and dearest to my heart because it's the first one I ever learned how to make, and it was my mother that taught me how to make it. So I'm going to use the clouds because I'm thinking about her right now. Okay, and this one never really had a name, but I call it the trick flyer because it does loops and swirls and other fun things when it flies. Okay, so again, my paper is lengthwise in front of me, and I take this top corner, this edge here, and I go down to meet the other edge here. Ah, my sister Maria's on. Hi, Maria. Okay, so this is the one that our mom showed us. So like this, and then I take this corner to meet down in this corner here. So it goes here, like so. And some of you might be wondering why some of my papers are colored in fancy patterns, but working at Shed for a really long time, I realized that kids would get their papers mixed up and their airplanes. So if you design fun paper before you fold, you'll know which one's yours, unless everybody draws the same thing, and then it doesn't matter anymore. So now it looks like a house. So that's how that looks. Okay? So now I'm going to flip the airplane over, and I'm going to bend down just the top tip part so that it looks like that. Okay? Then I'm going to fold it over again, or turn it over, excuse me, and then I'm going to fold it in half, like so that it looks like that. Then, close to my fold down here at the bottom, I'm going to do another fold so that it looks like this. I don't know if you can see it all that well, kind of tricky in this light. And then I turn it over and I do the same thing again so that it looks like this. And now this is the best part. So I open it up and it looks like this, okay, with my handle. Now I'm going to make rudders so that it flies in fun patterns. So one end goes like this, here. The other end goes like this here. And now I'm done. Now again, if I want to practice how I throw it, if it doesn't fly quite right, you just want to adjust your wings. You want to adjust your rudders because it'll get a better glide. So again, we're going to gently throw it. Ooh, not at the table. Sorry. And there it goes. Okay, so 2 more. Now these last 2 that I'm going to show you are the very hardest airplanes that I know how to make. I was actually taught how to make these airplanes by a child at Shed, probably 15, maybe longer years ago. I don't remember their names, but I came up with some fun names anyway. They are called, let's try the 4-wing flyer here. And then I have one that I think looks like a frog, so I call it the frog flyer. Okay, let's start with the frog flyer because it looks funny. Okay, so I'm going to take one more piece of paper. I'll use the oranges for this one. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing my lengthwise paper, and I'm going to fold like I did the last time, this edge here to meet this edge here, as straight as I can get it. So this one counts with straight edges, and you may need to have mom and dad help you with some of these folds because they are a little bit on the tricky side. So straight edge like that so that it looks like that. Then I open it up like this and I do the same thing, but I go opposite way. So this edge here is going to go on this side here so that when I open it like this, I have an X in the middle. And what's really interesting is I found out that paper airplanes actually were invented in China like 2,000 years ago, but also in Japan right around the same time. So in China, they started paper folding like origami. So I'm going to teach you a simple origami fold for a paper airplane. So now here's my X shape. Okay, I'm going to turn it over so that the X shape is raised off the table a little bit, and I'm going to fold it here where the X meets. So I'm going to fold it right down. Okay, so now it looks like this. Okay, and I turn it upside down, and this is my favorite thing. This is called the squash fold, and when you press it down, the paper kind of lifts up all by itself. Okay, so here's where you might need a parent's help. So you want your 2 folds here to kind of meet in the middle and then down like this. Okay, then I slide my hands up to the very top like this, and I take my other hand and I push it down like that. And that is called a squash fold, like that. So it goes like this. Okay, that's the squash fold. All right, so now I'm making the frog. So I take this end here, this little corner flap, and I put it to the very tip at the top like this so that it does that. Then I do the same thing here on this side, like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this corner. So this corner is going to go up here, like so. I don't know if you can see it all that well. And then the other side. Now this is the most tricky part of this airplane. So it looks like this. Okay, it's got these 2 little flaps here. Okay, now I'm going to fold the top part here like this. These 2 flaps down. Okay, then I open it up again. And I put these 2 little flaps down in the middle. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Okay, so this top is coming down. So it looks like this. Okay, kind of looks like a praying mantis a little bit. So now I'm going to tuck this piece here into this thing here, which is where you need a parent's help. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, tucking it all in, so that it looks like a kite in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. Okay? Now the last part is actually the easiest part. So I'm going to make some folds for the wings. I fold this edge to touch the inside, And then I do the same thing on the other side to touch the inside. Okay, and then after I do that, I'm going to fold down like this and down like this. Okay, so that your airplane gets folded like that. I don't know if you can see. Okay, then you open it up. And there's your little handy frog flyer. Now to fly this one, you have to hold onto the triangle in the middle. And again, let it glide. Last one, and then I'm done, I promise. The 4-wing flyer. It starts off exactly the same as the last flyer. Okay, so straight edge like this. So I start this side down to this side here. 1. And then I open it up again because I'm going to do the squash fold all over again. So it goes like this. Okay, and I have my X in the middle. I turn my paper over. And then I fold it down at the X, like so. Then I open it up. And I turn my paper over. And I get to push it. And there's my squash fold, ready to be folded, okay? So my last set, I fold these down, where I slide my hands up to the top, like this, and I use one hand to push it down to squash it in place. If it's not exact, it's absolutely okay, okay? So there's that. So far, so good. Now this little flap here, I'm gonna push it over to the other side, okay? Then I'm gonna take this edge and I'm going to fold it halfway like this. So your airplane's gonna look like this right now. You see how I folded it part way? Okay, then I move my flaps back to the other side. So 1, 2 flaps. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, straight as I can do it. And then my flaps open up like this. So this is what your airplane is starting to look like. Okay, now here, I'm going to fold the tip down about halfway, like that, so that it looks like this. And then I'm going to flip it back up again so that it looks like this. And then this is the hard part, so this is where your parents might come in again, because the paper's super thick right on this end. So I fold it in half, as tight as I can get it. Okay, so it looks like this. My last one down here. That wing is down, turn it over. Second wing is down. Oopsie, straight as I can make it. And here you have it. So now you have 5 airplanes that you could make at home. And some of the best things that I've ever seen for airplanes is measuring to see how long they go. So if you have a tape measure, you can mark out the feet and see which one flies the furthest. And also some of the kids in the hive were creating some obstacle courses, which I thought was really cool for their airplanes. So what can they fly through? What can they land on? What can they fly under or over? So really awesome. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you had fun, and I can't wait for you to post any of the airplanes that you made. So thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.